Welcome to our class, Kamalayan, Lifelong Learning Alternative Success System. Ako si Tato Malay at ako ang inyong makakasama sa isang oras na naman ng isang pag-uusap, pag-unawa ng mga bagay-bagay para maintindihan natin kung ano man ang talagang kailangan natin matutunan sa mga ganitong klaseng panahon. Ito ay ginagawa natin araw-araw at hanggang linggo yan, walang ano yan, walang break except pag importante, no? Alright, so yan ang ating kailangan ano muna, no? Ma, ma-introduce kasi marami hindi nakakaalam na ito ay araw-araw. At ito ay isang ginagawa natin kasi sabi nga meron ng mga bagong knowledge na kailangan natin matutunan. O ito isang matandang estudyante ko na matagal nang nawawala eh. Ito ay kasama natin, no? Direktor dati ng Itbulaga. Yan. Walang iba kundi si Vincent D. Buncio, aking palaging nagiging panauhin noon nung nagla-live pa tayo sa GMN, tama ba yun? GMPC building. Diyan sa may Timog, sa tapat ng Channel 7. Yung programa pa natin ay, tawag natin ay Wow, Very Good Live. At yan, si Vincent, hindi nga estudyante, beer body, hindi lang daw estudyante, beer body mo, yan. Actually, pagkatapos kasi namin magprograma, since nandun na kami sa Timog, nagkakayayaan, either kakain kami kung saan, or kadalasan sa Shakey's kami. Kaya yan, pipizza kami at saka beer pagkatapos sa programa. Alright, so kamusta ka na, Vincent? Medyo miss na kita. Tagal ka nawawala. Kala ko hindi mo na ako friend sa Facebook Bamboo. Oh yeah, pwede tayo sa Bamboo dito sa tapat namin, malapit dito. Yan. So basically, yan ang ating mga kaibigan na dito na ngayon. No? Tignan natin kung sino pa nandito ngayon. Medyo na late tayo ngayon Ay, si Doris Tayagpuno is already in the house. Na late tayo ng konti, ilang minuto, no? Dahil, well, alam nyo, mahilig ako manood ng volleyball Especially yung mga women's volleyball. UAAP o sa yung PVL, Professional Philippine, tama, Professional Volleyball League ba yun? Tama. Hello, Doris, kamusta na? Yan. Ay, I'm okay. Nakatita ngayon kami near Lagkita. Ano? Nakatita ngayon kami near Will. Nakatira. Nakatita kasi nakalagay. Near Wilma. Sabihin, sa may ano ka? Sa may San Antonio. San Antonio Drive. Sayang, malapit kami dyan noon, no? Yung meron pa kaming cafe na aming pinupuntahan. At kung saan ako nagbibigay ng Kamalayan Talks live. Ano bang araw ako noon? Mga every Tuesday yata ako noon. Tuesday pa rin, no? Kaya every Tuesday. Pero kung minsan, twice a week, Tuesday and Sunday. Right. So, andiyan ka na pala sa San Antonio. Don Antonio pala. Hindi pala San Antonio. Don Antonio Heights. Yan. Alright. Don Enrique. Hindi Don Enrique. Ito si Doc Jen, no? Kasama kami noon. Yan, si Doc Jen. Puro exchanges. Puro exchanges on ivermectin. Puro exchanges. Di ko naintindihan yung message mo. Puro exchanges on ivermectin. So, sabihin, yun ang tinitake mo. every Tuesday. Alright, puro exchanges on ivermectin. Di ba yan yung alternative kung ayaw mong pagpapaksin, yan ang iinumin mo. Di ba? Yan yung yeah, every Tuesday. Yan. Kaya nga, naging ko ako na Tuesdays with Tato. Ayan, sila Don Enrique, kami Don Anton. Tama pala si Doc Jen. Si Wilma, nasa Don Enrique. Oo, Wilma Galawan. Tama. Sorry, Doc Jen, no? Tama. So, tama sinabi niya. Usapan in vermectin at COVID. Ano ang gusto mong usapan tungkol sa napakaduma na ng usapan yan. Sabihin ngayon booster na ang talong ang usapan booster o dembak siya ngayon kasi dengue ngayon ang grabe na naman daw. Alright, so yan. Kaya pala hindi ka na gagawin na rito sa hindi ka na sa hindi ka na sa ang tawag dito, yung village dyan sa may Marikina na binabaha. Yung pinag-usapan namin ni Vilma. Anong pinag-uusapan? Ayan ang pinag-uusapan yun ni Vilma. Ni Vilma. Bakit yun ang pinag-uusapan yun ni Vilma? Ano naman ang makukuha nyo sa usapan na yun? Kung ano mas magaling. Na nga wala lang wala nang may interest sa magpapakuna mga tao dahil akala nila pawala na pero ngayon mukhang bumabalik nga Alright. Anyway, so yan ay isang bagay na kailangan nating pag-ingatan, no? Kasi pag hindi tayo nag-iingat, talagang we might really bring it back na kung saan ay katulad ng mga ibang bansa like Korea, sa China, na grabe ang kanilang lumipat kami after Ulysses. Okay. Hirap kasi dyan sa ano ba tawag doon sa village na yun? Provident Village. Dati, may uncle din ako nakatira din doon Pero buti na nabenta nila bago binaha, bago nag-Yolanda. Paano ba ako noon? Ano yung unang kwan? Yolanda nga. Naibenta na nila. Lumubog yun. Lumubog talaga yung bahay nila. Grabe. So, yan. Tayo ay nandito ngayon sa ating kwan at maganda itong topic natin because ang topic natin ay ano ba talaga ang kailangan natin maintindihan when we say we are spiritual beings having a human experience kasi kadalasan ang iniisip natin tayo ay ano ang natin we are human beings tayo ay tao lamang. Kasi sabi ni Gerard Reyes, sabi ni Gerard Walsh, si Gerard pala nandito Lumami ang cases, sir, pero mababa ang fatality rate dahil vaccine at may isa, hindi ko na alam yung na yan. Yung yung word na yan. Anyways, merong si Gerard Reyes, binabanggit. Pero anyway, nawala tuloy. Yun. Malnupravir na. Power ko. At may ang alam ko monkeypox. Malnupravir na. Anyway, alam nyo, hindi ko maintindihan talaga yung mga ayaw magpabakuna. No? I mean, okay, I respect naman yung mga taong talagang naniniwala na hindi nila kailangan talaga magpabakuna or may belief sila na bawal sa kanila o whatever o kung sa reliyon nila. Pero ang kanila, yun na nga, di siyempre, meron akong mga kaibigan ayaw mga ganyan talaga ayaw magpabakuna pero tinatamaan at pag tinamaan grabe ang nagiging nila recovery no I mean talagang sa ospital oxygen 50-50 kung saan talagang akala namin malabo na but anyway naka-recover Now, nung naka-recover, ayun, doon sasabihin nila na, oh, kita nyo, naka-recover. So, ibig sabihin, wala yan. At saka ngayon, parang naka-booster na kami dahil hindi na kami tatamaan. Yan ang hindi ko maintindihan eh. Eh bakit gusto mo pang ma-COVID ka para na masabi mo na mare-recover mo tapos pag tinamaan ka na, well, you don't need the vaccine anymore. I don't know kung ano yung ayaw nila doon sa vaccine. Anyway, so meron silang parang hindi naman takot pero parang may paniniwala sila na nakakasama yung vaccine. Okay lang kung gano'n ang paniniwala. Yes, so severe pag unvaccinated. Oo nga. Kasi nga, kapag tinamaan ka talaga, grabe. Ako talaga, that's why I really, naka-second booster shot na nga ako. Kaya, alam ko kasi I used to be asthmatic eh. Alam nyo, ang isang taong may asthma, yung talagang, yung every breath you take, sabi nga nung kanta eh, parang yun ang last breath mo na eh. Para bang, makaka-last pa ba ako ng isa pa? So, yun ang ating ayaw ma-experience. Kasi alam ko, excuse me lang, sabit tuloy ako. Pag vaccinated, 90% asymptomatic na lang or mild lang ang symptoms. Tama, yun nga. Kaya nga, yun ang hindi ko malaman kung bakit ayaw magpa-vaccinate iba. Eh, nanay ko nga eh. Yung mga ba, natatakot. Nanay ko nga, 101 years old, naka-fourth booster shot. Second booster shot. Okay lang. So, sabihin, yan ang kwan. So, tingnan natin muna kung sino yung mga nandito natin, mga kaibigan na nakikinig sa atin. Uy, marami na sila pala. Yan, uy, okay. So, aside from Direct Vincent D. Buncio, Doris Tayag Puno, Maria Isabel Miraflor, hello, Doc Jen, si Jen Guasis, Princess Marino Sobre Peña, yeah. And sino ba? Gerard Reyes of Gerard Walsh, Derek D. Dagdag, okay, si June Patti, and of course, si Amanda Nav also is in the house. All right, so, yan, tuloy-tuloy na tayo sa ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin? That when we say we are spiritual beings having a human experience, we are powerful. We have we're supposed to not think of our lives here as something that it would be a life of sacrifice, of suffering, pain, hunger, poverty, yung mga ganyan ba, na kung saan ay naghihingaos, ano tama, hingaos ba yun? Hingahos. Anyway, so, dito, we need to really now explain who we really are. Since we are really, kumbaga, spiritual beings, so meron tayong pinanggalingan. Yan ang ating kailangan maintindihan. Pag may pinanggalingan tayo, we have existed already before we incarnated again in this particular lifetime. Ang paniniwala kasi ng iba, first time magiging kwan tayo na tao, tapos one time, big time lang. Pagkatapos ng buhay dito, either pupunta ka sa langit o sa impyerno. Ganun lang yung kwan nila. Pero dito nga, sinasabi namin na you might be in for a big surprise because baka naman sabihin nyo, we didn't warn you, no? Okay lang. Kahit pa paano malalaman mo rin naman kasi somehow these are things that we really don't have real proofs in terms of, well, may nagsabi na nakapunta na siya sa impyerno. Pero yun na nga parang wala Parang walang nagsasabi na nakita niya ang impyerno o na-experience ang impyerno o napuntahan na niya. Lahat nasa langit Kaya nga pag may namamatay at nag-birthday, ang greeting palagi Happy birthday in heaven. Di ba? Wala naman ako nadinig pa na wala pa ako nababasa sa Facebook na may binati na happy birthday in hell. Wala eh, walang ganun eh. So lahat heaven. So anyway, so kung ano yung paniniwala nyo, we will leave it at that. We are not going to teach or preach a new religion here or whatever. But what I am just talking about, since I am talking about Kamalayan, consciousness, yung Kamalayan natin, ang ating makikitang, bumababa na naman ako. Ito yung problema ko dito, nag slide yung aking, ano eh, ko ba bakit masyadong, hindi naman maluwag ito, masikip naman siya, pero bumababa siya. Anyway, so, yan. So, as I've said, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Now, when we say spiritual beings, we came from somewhere already. So, maybe we came from heaven already. So, ang tanong dyan, bakit pa tayo pumunta rito sa langit? But anyway, so ito ang purpose why we are here. We are 12 things that we need to know. Why we think 12 things that we need to remember why we are here on earth, no? And to know exactly as spiritual beings what we need to really do. Yeah. Okay, number one thing to remember: you are here in this particular lifetime uh, exactly because you planned everything. Kumbaga, this is a well-planned event. Hindi siya tsamba lang, hindi siya swerte lang na napunta, ay sorry, lang swerte na punta mo ito. Hindi, ito yung pinlano mo when you were still on the other side. Na sinabi mo, I want to go back to Earth or I want to go to Earth or why? To experience. Because alam mo, wala kang magagawa sa heaven as a spiritual being kung saan ay consistent ka lang kung anong kalagayan mo ron, yun na. But ang tanong dyan is, ano ba talaga tayo? Di ba? That's why we need to understand that we are evolving. We are expanding. No, we have our soul actually that is part of that spirit. When it assumes a body here, it's called a soul, pero it's still a spirit, no? Okay, so yan yung ating maintindihan dito. But anyway, basta ang importante ngayon dito is nasakyan lang ninyo muna ang bakit importante itong 12 things to remember how to live your life here on earth. But on the context of not being a human being having a human having a spiritual experience. It's really being a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay. You think I'm weird if I can talk to a dead person in telepathic way? No, you can. You can. As a matter of fact, that's Doris. You can talk to anyone. As a matter of fact, that's what we believe in. No? Nobody dies. Dead persons can really communicate. I mean, we used to do that before. Hindi ko na lang ginagawa as a regular thing, but I used to have a friend, well, namatay na rin siya, na where we can, kasi he really sees dead people, no? And we can request a dead person to communicate with him kasi siya yung nakakakita. Kasi, if your consciousness is not that high, you cannot see the other dimension. Okay, you've done it twice. Sinong kausap mo? Sinong mga nakikita mo, Doris? Si Rico, nakakausap mo ba? Si Rico J. Yan. Anyway, so sige, tingnan natin kung ano yung share niya. So you've done it twice. All right. Kami, we've done it, well, not exactly many times, but we've done it a few times. And because we would have a session wherein may mga nagpa-request na kung saan ay pwede raw namin matawagan yung spirit nung kanilang kamag-anak. And so, sige. So sabi ko, we have this session now. We're open to it. We will call on them. Pero we would ask permission kasi not all of them would want to. Kasi we don't know also. Kung minsan, baka hindi natin alam, nandito na sila on earth again, nag-reincarnate na as another human being, no? So you cannot communicate with them in terms of, well, how they are in on the other side, but as a spirit, a spirit. But again, so okay. Anyway, so to move on, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You you planned everything. You yes twice. Rico, Rico's father and my brother. Also my dad. Aba, wow, marami ng beses. Oo. So nakikita mo sila or nagko-communicate lang. Nag-appear or in a dream. Yan. How do they appear to you? How do they talk to you? Do they appear in a dream or ano yan? Malalaman natin yan. Anyway, sige. Text mo lang para babasahin ko later on kung ano yung sasabihin mo para may share natin sa iba. Okay. Alright. So, ito si, ano sila? Always always looking forward to your next live sessions po, Sir Tato, sabi ni Princess Marino sobre Peña. So enlightening, love and light. Yeah. Good evening. Leslie Mangao Hernandez. Yeah. Oy, si Gian Bandolin. Hi, hi, hi. Yeah. And of course, si Samuel Garcia. Ay, hindi. Tingnan mo na. Hindi pala yun. Iba palang araw yung binabasa ko. I'm sorry. Kahapon pala yun. Ayun. Kasi ito si Vincent. Nag, nagre-react, nagko-comment sa ibang video ko. Ay, Vincent, nagla-live ako dito. At telepathic. Okay. Tanong ni Gerard Reyes. Ano ba nangyayari sa akin? Kanina pa ako looking. Ngayon, Gerard Reyes. Gerard Reyes, sabi niya, do you hear voices? O, ayan, talagin mo, sagutin mo, Doris, kung nakakarinig ka ng boses ba? Or what? Ayan. Alright, so, yan, sige, tingnan natin ang mga sagot nila later on. Okay. Alright, so, okay. Ito na. So, ito na tayo. Now, the thing here is, we are human beings, but basically we are really spiritual beings having a human experience. We actually are more in power as spiritual than the body. The body is just, ano tawag dito? Sumasabay lang yan kung anong gusto natin paggawa sa katawan. So it is the real one controlling everything is the spirit. So, of course, we have a brain, we have a mind, but basically, ang lahat ng nag-ano sa atin is our spirit. Yes, I do. Oh, telepathic ang konya pala. Okay, so anyway, so yan. Magandang ano yan. Pag-usapan natin. So we won't ask for details kung ano yung mga pinag-usapan nyo because I think it's personal. Pinaka legit na spirit medium that I'm aware of is John Edwards. Grabe accuracy niya. Alright. Maraming ako, I forgot his name. But ang maganda dito is he was featured in kasi I mean I get to watch mga videos in Gaia, no. So it's a program ni George sino yun? Si George something, I forgot his last name. Okay. Yung ganyan din, no? Nakakapag-usap sa mga spirit. As James Van Prague, yeah, magaling din. Yung ito naman, karamihan na nakakausap niya, celebrities. Mas ano siya kasi he's part of the film industry sa US, sa Hollywood. So kilala niya lahat yung mga past celebrities na namatay. So nagko-communicate sa kanya yung mga tuwan sila Elvis, practically lahat, no? Yung mga sikat sila Robert, sino to? Uh, sila, uh, hmm, bigla nagbablako yung mind ko kung sino-sino sila. Ano ba yan? Anyway, so, okay, makaalala natin lahat yung mga yan. Lahat na ng mga, wala, nag-move on. Anyway, so talagang, they're there. Actually, anytime naman you could communicate with them. Kasi like, for example, me, I try to communicate with anyone who would feel like communicating with me. I mean, I open my communication lines to whoever there is, who is present at the moment. Na nakukuha nila yung aking messages o yung consciousness ko, yung frequency ko. And even that's why I could talk to extraterrestrials because I aim it at them also. So meron mga nagko-communicate sa akin mga extraterrestrials. So, ganyan, no? So, practically, spirit guides, extraterrestrials, dead people, I mean, they are all there. Nagsasend ng mga messages. Lahat naman yan, they're all parang tao rin yan eh. Kung nakakakita ka lang ng, yun nga, ng ibang mga ganyang klaseng beings in other dimensions, it's a gift talaga. If your mind is already open to that, if your consciousness is open, you can just see them walking around. Kagaya ng friend ko, pag tinatanong mo yung friend ko, ano yung itsura niya, describe talaga kung ano yung itsura. At sasabihin niya, oh, yan yung damit niya nung suot niya noon. Mahilig siya. So, ganun, no? So, yung friend ko talaga, nakikita niya talaga I mean, like a person. Yung hindi siya as a ghost. Parang nakikita niya buong buo. So, yan. Okay, anyway. So, we are all spirits. Spirits. Kasi, kaya nga tayo, we can communicate with them. Because basically, we are really spirits. Nagkaroon lang tayo ng katawan. So, nagkaroon lang tayo ng limitasyon muna. Limitations. So, but basically, we have that power. Because we are really spiritual beings. So, wala tayong pagkakaiba sa kanila. We can communicate with them anytime. Kaya lang, meron na tayong ginawang parang pamamaraan para lang makita lang natin muna yung magiging buhay natin dito. Magfo-focus lang tayo dito. So we would play the game here on Earth. So we are given limitations like having a body. Kasi having a body is a limitation. Kasi hindi ka na makalipad. Bigat yan. Dala-dala mo yan. Hindi ka makakaalis yan. So you assume a body, all the traits of the physical characteristics of the body. Ikaw rin na nag-decide yan kung anong race, anong itsura mo, anong height mo, anong size mo. Ikaw ang namimili lahat yan. So you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That's one thing. Walang tsamba, walang ano yan. Ikaw ang merong, ikaw ang nag-decide. So wag mo sisisihin ang nanay mo, ang tatay mo, nasasabi mo, hindi ko naman binalak ipanganak ako eh. As a matter of fact, dapat magpasalamat ka na tinanggap ka nila. Kasi maraming spirits who would want to incarnate here on earth. Namimili lang sila kung sino mag-ano sa kanila, magwe-welcome. Kung ano yung bibigay sa atin, sino yung mag-ano sa atin. But a lot of times, we already agreed. Ikaw ang nanay ko dito ngayon. Ako ang magiging anak mo. So basically, planado yun. Ang difference lang natin, sabi ni Gerard Reyes, ay ang difference lang natin sa kanila, sa higher dimensions, they are not bounded by time and space. Exactly. That's why time and space are illusions. I mean, it's an illusion, no? We have to understand that. That's another thing that we need to that's part of my that's one of the 12 things that um, uh, I'm going to share that yun na nga, wala tayong saan ko yun? Um, oh, okay, anyway, sige. We will get into that and we'll get into that. The thing here is, okay, so malinaw na yun. Walang chamba. We want to experience things. Now, the thing here is, ano yung kailangan kong gawin dito? Bakit ko choose itong buhay ko rito, itong mabuhay sa Pilipinas, itong pamilyang ito? Yun na nga, meron kang agenda. And you have to now remember that because you forgot all about it when you were born. Now, how will you remember that? Well, yun na nga, by knowing why you chose your parents, at least, tignan mo, bakit sila yung pinili mo? Talangin mo yung sarili mo. Bakit ito ang magulang ko? Anong kailangan ko maintindihan dito sa setup ko ngayon? Were they with me in a past life that we are continuing something in this present lifetime now? Are we supposed to really resolve a lot of issues in a past life when we were together? Who was my father in my past life? Was he my brother? Who was my mother in my past life? Was she my daughter? Baka nagbaliktad lang kayo na roles na ngayon. So basically, we're still together kasi as spirit, wala naman kayo gender talaga eh. Kaya lang, as consciousness, we are really consciousness eh. So yun ang natin eh, permanent na hindi magbabago yung kamalayan natin. That's why it's importante itong ginagawa kong kamalayan learning because you have to understand that you are consciousness talaga. And since you are consciousness, itong kamalayan mo, who you are right now, you might change your identity in the next lifetime. You will assume a body of maybe a woman, kung lalaki ka ngayon. Pero ikaw pa rin yon. So, kung maaalala mo yung mga past lives mo, well, dun ka lang makaka-determine kung doon mo lang ma-distinguish ko talaga kung ano yung nangyari sa'yo. Pero at this point in time, nakalimutan natin lahat yan eh. But we have been, we have lived a lifetime of, we have lived a lot of past lives already. And somehow we have been a woman, a man in the past, a gay, a lesbian, uh, whatever, kung anong nationality. The circumstances or setups are providing us tools to experience and express who we really are or any of our divine aspects that we choose to show up. Exactly. Tama ka. Thank you for that. Yun na nga eh. Because we want to evolve, we want to experience, we want to expand. We are now looking for mga paano ang setup, paano tayo mag-expand dito, paano tayo mag-grow. So dyan tayo ngayon nakatuon. That's why, for example, ako, in a previous lifetime, I was a bishop in France. So, ano yung nangyari sa akin doon? I was a bishop in France. As a matter of fact, to prove that I was really in France, I have relatives here, present in life. In present life ko. Like my mom, she speaks French. Her brother speaks French. Mga Malay, marami kong mga kamag-anak na Malay. They speak French as well. And some even married French women. So talagang doon ko makikita yung connection ko. Totoo na I've been with them in a past life in France. But I was not a French man pala. I was an Italian bishop who lived in France. So basically, yung mga nakasama ko doon sa France were French people. Pero I was, siguro, kasi I was a bishop, so I was single. Hindi naman ako nagkaroon ng kamag-anak sa France. dito magkamag-anak kami. But anyway, I was able to prove kung bakit ko alam na, yun na nga, gano'n, no? So marami na akong pruweba diyan, hindi ko na pagdududahan. So, ang tanong is, who am I now? Why am I here in this world? Sabi ko nga, since I was a bishop, a Catholic bishop at that, ang dami ko alam about religion na siguro ay ngayon, ay parang nakita ko parang may kulang or parang mali ang pagturo ng ginagawa ng mga sa Catholic religion. So ngayon, I opted now, although I was born a Catholic, I opted now to be not exactly a practicing Catholic. Actually, yes, I'm not practicing anymore, pero I am more of a Catholic. That's why I talk about universal laws and principles because I understood in this lifetime what it means to be a Catholic. What is a Catholic? When Jesus mentioned the word Catholos, which basically is the word that made some people decide that it can be made into a religion, no? The word Catholic. The word Catholos means universal. Ang gusto lang naman ni Jesus during that time, when he was teaching all these things that he was teaching, was to teach it to everyone. Hindi exclusive. Hindi pwede sabi mo, eto lang tayo. He didn't want to form a religion. He wants it for everyone to understand exactly what he was teaching because he was teaching universal laws. Yun lang naman ang ibig sabihin ng Catholic, Catholos, universal. So dito ko naintindihan, okay. And that's why nga, even in my dreams, I mean, I was, even the extraterrestrials, when they actually told me exactly why I am here on Earth, it's the same thing that they told me. Teach universal laws. Sabi ko, hoy, pati, pati extraterrestrials, universal laws ang aking, sa akin sinasabi. But anyway, so, ayaw nyo, kung gusto nyo o ayaw nyo maniwala, well, sa akin yan yung aking na-experience, no? So that's why I'm teaching universal laws. No? So, ito ngayon, I am, well, doing that kind of a thing now and experiencing how it is like to really understand how these universal laws work in our lives. That's why I'm sharing it because this is really the secret to a successful life here on earth. It's not only the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments, ano lang yan for behavioral, but basically, importante rin yon. Pero the universal laws, you cannot not really, you cannot believe it. I mean, you cannot not believe in it because diyan ka may hirapan sa buhay mo kung hindi mo naintindihan yan. That's why ito nga first thing that you need to remember, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay, what is one of the universal laws that we are promoting? Nobody, you always would exist. You will exist anywhere, everywhere, anytime. Ibig sabihin, hindi ka mamamatay, wala ka rin umpisa. You were already a spirit then, a soul, if you want to call it a soul, na meron ka ng consciousness at that time na anywhere you go, anytime, you're still continuing it now, even in this present life. So, ganun lang tayo. So, we have been around for so long, we just don't remember exactly what happened to us before. Now, we are here in this present lifetime. What do we need to actually do since we are still spiritual beings having a human experience? Yun. But I have to make you understand first the number one thing here. Walang chamba. You chose to be here You chose the people around you. You chose your family. You chose your parents. Yun, that's one thing. You chose your parents. Kasi yun ang umpisa mo eh. Now, the second thing that you need to remember as a spiritual being having a human experience, our self-esteem, di ba? Yung aking kahalagahan sa sarili is not determined by other people. It's always should be, I should always remember that I am the one determining my own self-esteem. Hindi ka magiging-dependent kung ano sinasabi ng ibang tao tungkol sa'yo. Ikaw lang ang magsasabi. Ito ako, paniniwala ako, ganito ako, magaling ako. Hindi ko pwede paniwalaan yung sinasabi ng ibang tao na walang kwenta ako, mahina ako, bobo ako. Hindi totoo yon. Ako lang, ikaw lang ang pwede magsabi kung sino ka. That's what you need to remember. You are not going to be influenced or be bullied by other people because it is you alone who can say as to how high your self-esteem is. All right. Now, the third thing to remember is, yun na, marami kasi sa atin, ano tayo eh, takot sa buhay dito eh. Ang daming fears. And this is exactly what we need to correct in us. What do you mean by we need to correct in us? Because what happened to us is instead of choosing love, we chose to live in fear. O, bakit natin sinasabi yun? Eh, hindi ba? Ano nangyari? Matakot ka sa Diyos. So, na-emphasize yung fear. So, dapat tayo natatakot. When in fact, the opposite of the word love is fear. And somehow, yan yung problema natin na bakit tayo, bakit umiiral ang takot kaysa yung love sa buhay natin. So, that's why nagkakagulo-gulo tayo eh. We are afraid. Kaya tayo corrupt dahil natatakot tayo maubusan, mawalan, magkulang. O yan. Kasi nga, yan ang tinuro sa atin, fear. Yan ang, nako, pag ikaw naubusan, sige ka, ayan. When in fact, hindi ka dapat nauubusan. Yan. So, yan ang dapat natin intindihin dito sa ating niisip sa buhay natin ngayon. Na we have to get rid of all the fears that we are experiencing, no? Walang itutulong sa atin na ano yan. That's why even the way we look at God, na sinasabing we have to be God-fearing, that should be corrected. We should be more of God-loving. Uh, there are only real, there are only two truths in our world, present world, love and fear. Why are we giving fear more of the kind of importance? Well, yun na nga eh. So, we have to really choose. If you choose only, you have to choose only one. You cannot choose both. Yeah, the only one, the only thing that we need to choose now is to really choose love. That's why kailangan matutunan natin what love is all about, what unconditional love is. So, yeah. Kasi natatalo tayo ng fear eh. Mas naging laganap sa atin ang takot eh. Di ba nakikita natin, ay naku, ano nangyayari sa mundo natin? Naku, gulo-gulo na. Yan, no? When in fact, the real thing to really be able to see is everything is okay. Because, we have to change our outlook in life. We are not supposed to be afraid. We're supposed to really love. All right. So the third thing that we need to now uh, understand is ano, sa tingin ninyo, Yeah, and the fourth one na pala. Kasi the third one na pala yung fear. Uh, to get rid of our fears. The fourth one that we need to understand is when things are, uh, when times are tough, pag dumadating yung mga challenges, when things are turning really, magulo, nagkakaroon ng mga ganitong challenge sa buhay natin, uh, we have to change the way we see things. We cannot accept it na tatalunin tayo niyan. We have to now stop, look, and listen. Ano ba yan? Saan nanggagaling yan? Saan nagmumula yan? Kaya we need to be able to change the way we see things. Kasi naunahan lang tayo ng takot na naman eh. Nasabi nga natin kanina, get rid of fear. So, when challenges would come, okay, kaya ko yan. All right. Part of being a Christian is humbling ourselves, but show your worth and value. Make a conscious choice to turn away from the bad deeds and sinful habits. Yan, maganda yan. Tama. Okay. Yan ang ating tinuturo eh. Pero ang nangyayari, hindi natin ginagawa eh. Kaya palagi nire-remind natin sa sarili natin na yan nga, yung to be humble, to show our worth and value. Pero nauunahan tayo eh ng mga kaganapan eh na uy naku talagang nakakatakot na, uy naku totoo yata ko ano yung sinasabi ng ibang tao tungkol sa sarili ko, yan, so tuloy yun, imbis na maganda yung buhay natin dito ay yun ang ating binibigyan na importansya. We have to have a conscious choice, make a conscious choice, sabi nga ni Doris, to turn away from these negative things. So well, actually, there are no bad deeds or lahat naman yan okay lang, and sinful habits. So, okay, mga kapalpakan natin. But we need to stand up again. Ang nangyayari sa atin ay pag pumapalpak tayo, ang tendency natin ay manatiling palpak. Dapat tatayo tayo. Yung mga failures, mga ganyan, yung negative things, we need to learn from them and we have to change them into something more positive. Yeah. So, yung mga emotions natin of worry, yung wala pa eh. Ano kaya mangyayari? Paano na tayo? Ayan, worry. Yung conflict, yung awayan natin, mga hindi pagkakasundo, disagreement. Ito pa, guilt feelings. Ako talaga, wala talaga ako. Kasalanan ko kasi, ako talaga wala mangyayari sa buhay ko kung sana ito ang ginawa ko. So, ang dami natin mga ganyang kwento sa buhay natin na kung saan ay imbis na makatulong, ay hinihila tayo pababa. Yung mga regrets natin, yung mga sama ng loob, mga kalungkutan natin, yan. Lahat yan, hindi yan nakakatulong sa ating present life right now. That's why we need to change how we look at these things. All right. So, uh, we need to fully live in the present. Kasi in future, wala pa yan eh. Pero what do you do with the present now? This is where we change things eh. As a matter of fact, ito nga, pag nakikita mo yung negative, dito mo na kayo, i-correct. Wala ka ng chance i-correct yung past mo. Tapos na yun eh. Although maraming may gumagawa ngayon na binabago yung history, yung past. Yun yung ating pwedeng sabihin na, meron naman, pwede talaga yan. Pero at this moment, the only power that you have is to really now decide on what you want to do in the present time, in this present time. Yan eh. Ang present natin is the only time that we have. That's why that's why we consider time as an illusion, time and space. Kasi there's no real time. It's the only time that we need to understand is the present. All right. the present moment that can change our point of view. Dito natin pwede palitan ang ating pananaw and understand that ito mga nangyayari sa buhay natin, mga bagay na ganyan na negative, they're just mirrors. Exactly of what we have inside us. Kung ano yung mga iniisip natin, mga paniniwala natin, yan ang lumalabas sa ating buhay, sa ating mundo. Yan yung ating reminder na pag nakita na natin yan, ito ang buhay ko ngayon, ito ang mundo ko. Pangit. Bakit pangit? Kasi nga, may pinagmulan yan sa kalooban natin. So, papalitan natin yung nasa kalooban natin. Nasa sa atin yun. Tayo ang may kagagawa ng mga nangyayari sa mundo natin. Hindi naman yan dahil ginawa ng ibang tao. Tayo may kagagawan yan. Kasama tayo riyan. Collective consciousness. So we cannot change another person. Sabihin natin, ikaw, masama ka. Hindi pwede mo sabihin gano'n. If we see that in another person, bakit mo nakita yan? Sabihin, meron ka rin nun. Kung ano yung kasamaan na nakita mo sa ibang tao. Sabihin, you have to be the one to change in yourself. Sabi nga ni Gandhi, be the change that you want to see in this world. Because it's true. We cannot. Yung change sa labas, it's just a reminder of what you have to change in you. Okay. So, there's nothing. So, talagang wala tayong makikitang i-fix o babaguhin sa labas. Yung lahat yan, sige, yung corruption na nga sinasabi. The corruption that we know, that we see in government is basically tayo ang may nagko-contribute dyan. Bakit? Sasabi mo, ay, hindi naman ako corrupt Akala mo. Pero you're part of this collective consciousness. So if you want to really now change yung corruption, hindi nga magagawa ng gobyerno yan Kahit na sino presidente ilagay mo yan, hindi na mababago yan. Until we decide individually to change that we are not going to be corrupt, that we are not going to steal, that we are not going to abuse or whatever. So, yun na nga, we have to now really uh, do things inside us. Inside job lahat yan Uh, so we need that kind of self-love. We need to love ourselves more. Yan. Ano pa? Learn from the past. Don't dwell on it. Sabi nga ni Doris. Okay. Kung minsan kasi nawawala ko yung mga sinasabi nyo Nawawala dito sa aking pagpindot ko Alright. Anyway, so sige, mamaya babalik yan. Okay. Alright. So just put it on there. I mean, I will read them all mamaya. So I'm just finishing all the things that I need to say here. Mga nakasulat ko rito. So, yun na nga. We need to really learn how to love unconditionally. Have to be compassionate. Yung mga lumang mga patterns of thoughts and behaviors natin, kailangan natin talagang baguhin yan. So, we need to really now talagang palitan talaga, overhaul everything inside us. Okay. So, ano pa? Ano pa ang ating kailangan matutunan ngayon? Okay. Do not dwell on the past. and do not think of the future because wala pa yung future. All right. So the past and the future are not really important in our life right now. What we have really to consider is always the present. Now, what do we need to know when we actually talk of the present? What is your passion? What are you excited about? What is it that makes you enthusiastic? Yan ang ating concern eh. Yun ang binabaliwala natin eh. Yun ang kinalimutan natin eh. Because basically, everything that we're supposed to be doing is supposed to be based on what excites us. Eh. So, what is it now that is exciting for you? What is it that you're enthusiastic about? Yun ang kailangan mong gawin. Hindi yung, ay, nako, ito ang dream ko in the future. Ay, if, yeah, okay naman yun. Does it excite you now? If it excites you now, what is it that you can do now? What are your goals at present? So, find your passion and act on that excitement. Kung ano man yung bagay na yan. Kung ano man yung gusto mong gawin dyan. Now is the time. The most important thing now, yung pinaka-importanting time is the present nga. Wala tayong time in the past and the future or any other time. What are you doing now? Yan ang palagi kong gustong i-ano sa inyo. So, what do you need to learn now? What do you need to do now? What do you need to be now? You cannot become something later on. Eskwelahan nga sabi, you need to study so that you can become somebody later. What do you mean somebody later? What am I now? What do I have to become now? Yun ang dapat tinuturo eh. Now is important. And yes, our past actions, our past events, may naigawa naman yan in the past sa ating present ngayon. You need to learn from them and evolve now and let go. We have to let go of them. We have to enjoy exactly where we are right now, what we are doing right now. Chill out, enjoy. Ako nga, sa Kamalayan, sabi, pag may nagtatanong sa ano ginagawa sa Kamalayan, wala, chill out lang kami, enjoy lang. Kung ano yung ginagawa namin na that excites us, yun ang ginagawa lang namin. Oh, masaya. Hindi yung, problema nga namin ngayon kung paano gagawin ito. Hindi. At this point in time, kaya nga kami ni Direct Vincent, pag nagkita, chill out. Beer kami. Punta kami Shakey's. Enjoy. Yun lang ang buhay namin. The present moment is, itong moment na ito, ang pinaka-importante moment sa buhay mo. What is promised to you is always the present. So what do you know? What do you do now? Kasi instead of worrying about the future, now, ano yung kailangan mong gawin para mag-enjoy ka? That's why nga, ang tanong ko is, ano mga ginagawa ko to enjoy things? Well, kung ano yung nagpapa-excite ka sa akin, ano yung gusto kong mangyari. If I have a date, sino among the girls that I want to date, sino sa tingin ko. Kasi during that time, wala naman akong girlfriend. So, sinong available kaya matawagan kung who's available for a date. And I would just date anyone for that matter. Ganun naman ako eh. So, are you free? Kaya nga I have what I call mga dates na kumbaga wala kaming commitment to each other. As long as I'm free and she's free, pagtatanong kami, nandito ako ngayon, are you free? Come here, join me here. Walang hindi kami committed to each other. We're not yung may steady relationship. Walang ganon. It's just that, nasaan ka? Basta pag sinabi ko, I'm here right now. You want to join? Sige, I'll join. Di ganon. Kami ang magkaka-date palagi. And we enjoy each other's company. Pero basically, we are not committed to each other. Wala kaming sinasabi na, ay, exclusive tayo. Wala, ganon. So I have a group of people na ganyan ako. Even with 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 men, no? I mean, my friends na male, kung sino yung libre o kan. Pero I have also friends na women na ganyan, na anytime they're available after work, join me here. I'm here in this place. And so we would have dinner or, wine, for that matter. So that's how we enjoy life. Kasi, what do you do with life? I mean, enjoy it. Yan lang naman yan eh. This is where we find our power. Our real power is in the present moment. So why are you always wala, nag-worry about something? And in fact, yun na nga, uh, ang dami mong pwedeng gawin at the present. So, yun na nga. Tapos ang dami sasabihin na, ay kasi, ako, ang daming problema eh. Ang dami kong hindi pwedeng gawin. Ang dami, ikaw nagbibigay ng limitation sa buhay mo. So, sino may problema? Ikaw. So, you have to go beyond your limitations. Eh. That's what we are always telling people. Pag sinabi kong, oh, I'm here right now. Ay, nako, marami pa ako trabaho eh. Bakit? Kailangan ba ng trabaho mo matapos yan ngayon? Baka naman pwede bukas yan. O nga, no? Sige. Di, instead of mag-overtime, di sa akin mag-overtime. Hindi, kami magkikita. Yan. So, yan nga. In other words, the power really is in the present. And you don't know exactly how powerful you are until you really are able to say that, I am living my life na how the way I want it. No? Kasi you have the power to choose. You have the power to be able to determine what you want to do with your life at the moment. Yan naman ang importante. That's why your power is in the present. Your power cannot be in the past or in the future. It's always in the present. So, yeah. So, ano pa? Sa tingin niyo, okay, let's move to the one. So again, do not dwell on the past and dream of the future. So it's always in the present. Now, everything, the sixth lesson that we need to learn or remember, naku, kulang pala ito. Marami pa tayo. Kalahati pa lang tayo. 12 ito eh. So number 6 pa lang tayo. Tutuloy natin bukas. Is what? What do you think? Everything is temporary. All right. Well, what do you mean by everything is temporary? Okay, when you say everything is temporary, okay, walang, walang permanent. So, kahit na mag-asawa, hindi naman permanent ang pag-aasawa eh. Akala mo lang kasi may kasunduan kayo na till death do us part. But basically, ngayon may divorce, may separation, may annulment. So, still temporary. Ayan. So, it's only temporary. Life, everything in life is temporary. Kung may na-experience ka na setback or failure or hindi maganda nangyari, it's only temporary. Hindi yan tatagal. So anything that is going on in your life na hindi mo gusto, look at it as something just temporary. Pag maganda rin, well, of course, sasabihin mo lang na gusto mong patagalin, pero alam mo rin na it's also temporary, no? Pero wag naman yung isipin na, ay naku, ang saya-saya ko ngayon. Baka kasunod nito, the opposite. Puro lungkot naman. May ganun na mga paniniwala ang iba. Of course, kasi nga, everything is temporary. Kaya nangyayari nga yung ganung bagay. Pero pwede mo naman pahabain yung kasayahan mo. Hindi naman porque masaya-masaya ka ngayon, bukas magiging malungkot ka. Hindi ganun yan. It would always depend on you as to how far you would want to extend that kind of thing that you're experiencing. The power is in you. You can choose. So, hindi totoo yung may kasunod na kwan. Although, yun na nga, it's not forever. So, akala nung iba, tuloy-tuloy. So, yeah. Kasi may ebb and flow naman ang buhay natin. May up and down. So, basically, that's what we need to also understand. So, if you're in a bad place now, it's only temporary. If you're experiencing something good, okay. Uh, the universe is always evolving. So, basically, that's what we need to remember. So, nagbabago yan. May cycles tayong tinatawag. Yun ang siguro intindihin natin. We are going through cycles. So we need to understand what these cycles are also. What cycle am I now into? Kagaya ngayon. That's why I'm not doing much ngayon sa aking kwan because I'm on my seventh cycle. So, seventh cycle ko is just relax lang ako dito. Hindi pa ako nagde-decide on major things to do because I'm just waiting for my first cycle. And when it is on my first cycle, that's the time I decide on what I would do. Although I know already what I want to do, but I cannot decide it now on my seventh cycle. I will decide it once once I am able to enter already my first cycle. So yun. So everything is, ayan. All right. So siguro dyan tayo magtatapos. Haba na tayo. Kulang pa pala oras natin. 6:12 ito eh. But anyway, so we will continue with the other half tomorrow. So this is again reminding us as to what we should remember, how we should live our lives as spiritual beings, having a human experience. Kasi akala natin itong nangyayari sa atin ay wala tayong control. Well, basically we are not really in control. We can choose how to react, how to to react to it. But basically, we know things happen. May sabi nga natin, may cycles. So talagang we have to understand those things as well. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who have been watching us and listening to us at this point in time. Teka na, patiin natin muna ang mga kung sino mga like ano. All right, so learn from the past, sabi ni Kwan, ni Doris. Don't dwell on it. Don't dwell with it. Okay. So I'd like to say thank you to Doris Tayag Puno for sharing as well. Samuel Garcia, Gerard Reyes, Gerard Walsh. Sino pa mga nag-share sa atin? Of course, si Direct Vincent De Buncho and Doc Jen. All right. So iba pa, mga nakinig, marami sila. Si Maya Isabel Miraflor, Jen Guasis, si Princess Marino Sobrepeña, Derek D. Idagdag, June Pati, Amanda Nav, Ver Morales, Samuel Garcia, Jordan Tolentino is Jordan, Danilo Basa. Yeah. So with that, I'd like to say thank you. See you tomorrow again. Continue natin ito kasi kailangan maintindihan ninyo how it is like to be a spiritual being having a human experience. Masarap ang buhay. Chill out lang nga eh. Enjoy lang tayo talaga dapat eh. Whatever there is, enjoy mo. I mean, everything is temporary naman eh. So, kung ayaw mo yan, di palitan. Di, ganun naman ang buhay. Kung ano man yung gusto mo, yan ang piliin mo. So, thank you for that. With that, I'd like to say, God bless. Enjoy the rest of the day. And magandang kamalayan ulit sa inyo lahat. Hello, and